Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Dwayne. I got a video for that Kimball, United States Army veteran and retired VA rating specialist. In today's video, I'm going to be discussing favorable findings. A lot of veterans do not understand what favorable findings are. They'll say, Dwayne, I got denied, but they gave me favorable findings and they don't bother to understand what they are. So I'm going to explain what they are, how you can identify them in a rating decision, but most importantly, how can you use them in your favor in a later claim? Make sure you stick around. All right, favorable findings. I don't think the VA should even have favorable findings in the rating decision because it confuses the veteran. The veteran gets denied, then they see the favorable findings, they get on YouTube, they email me, and then I have to explain the ins and outs of favorable findings. So today's video, I'm going to break it down for you, but most importantly, I am going to share with you when you are denied and you see the favorable findings in the rating decision narratives, how can you use that in your favor in later claims? Let's go. Slide number one. Here in slide number one, this is the VA's M21-1 manual reference definition favorable findings. As stated in 38 CFR 3.104 subpart C, we'll cover that. A favorable finding means a conclusion either on a question of fact or on an application of law to facts made by an adjudicator concerning the issues under review. And I know you're probably like, Dwayne, what the heck is that? Okay, so basically when the VA adjudicator denies you, they have to explain in this favorable findings what kind of went on, right? So a lot of veterans are mistaking this as favorable findings. I should have been service connected. No, that's not what favorable findings mean, okay? Let's keep going. Slide number two. Here in slide number two, this is the 38 CFR that I showed you on the previous screen. Now, I'm not going to read the entire 38 CFR, but down below, you'll see where it says subpart C, favorable findings, okay? So you can go look this up, but we're just going to cover what I have highlighted in red. A finding means a conclusion, either on a question of fact or an application of law to facts made by an adjudicator concerning the issues under review. Now, that's the same as the M21 reference I just showed you, but you're going to be like, Dwayne, it says the same thing. What's the difference? Okay, I'll tell you what the difference is. The M21-1 is reference. It's not a regulation. But here it's saying the same thing in the regulation. So keep in mind, even though on a high-level review, for example, or in an RBSR hearing, you can use the M21 manual reference or the 38 CFR to argue your case or support your case, okay? Down below, it says a listings of any findings made by the adjudicator that are favorable to the claimant. Now, this is another part, okay, of this particular 38 CFR at the bottom, okay? So again, a listing of any findings made by the adjudicator that are favorable to the claimant. Favorable to the claimant. The claimant is you. Now that doesn't mean, again, that you should be service connected. It's just favorable. But I'm going to break it down for you here in a second. Okay, let's keep going. Slide number three. Now this is the M21-1 as well. This one, I did not copy the entire M21 manual reference. And I do that in some of my videos, okay, where I don't copy the entire reference, but I give you the name and the reference number, okay? So you can go out and continue to do your research. So the hyperlink right there in blue, 38 CFR 3.104 subpart C, we already covered it, okay? So It states rating decisions generated on or after February 19, 2019. I bet a lot of you don't even know what that date is. That's the date the VA created the prescribed claim forms. Now, the 526EZ has been out for years. Now, there's different versions of it, okay? But that day they came out with the 0995 and the 0996. I bet a lot of you didn't know that. If you did, leave me a comment, okay? Must address as a narrative element that's in the rating decision for each decided issue any findings made by the adjudicator that are favorable to the claimant. And you keep saying, I know you're saying, Dwayne, but it's favorable, it's favorable. What does it mean? How can I use it? Trust me, we're getting there, okay? Use the table below to determine how to properly address and document favorable findings in the rating decision. Okay, denying the claim. There it is, important. Favorable findings must be specific enough so that a claimant, upon reading the notification and rating decision, will be able to determine what evidence was used to make the findings. Users must edit a favorable findings to address the specific evidence that supports the favorable findings. Now, we're about to get into how you can use it in your favor, okay? You know what it is. You know where to go and find it. Let's keep going. Slide number 4. Here in slide number 4, this is an example in the rating decision of what a favorable findings could look like, okay? First paragraph, you have a qualifying event, injury in service due to conceded noise exposure. Your MOS of Canon crew member has a high probability of hazardous noise exposure. So you already know which condition was denied, tinnitus. Here we go. You have been diagnosed with a disability. That's the first nugget. VA examination shows a diagnosis of tinnitus June 5th, 2024. Okay, so I guarantee you a lot of you didn't catch that nugget. You have been diagnosed. Now, I'm going to explain that here in a minute. But then it goes on to say you have sufficient service to meet the minimum requirements. Okay, your claim issue became manifested to a degree of 10% or more following service. Very important. Okay, the claim disability is a chronic disease which may presumptively linked to your military service. Did you all know that tinnitus is a 1-year presumptive? Guarantee you all didn't know that, okay? Now, again, you've been diagnosed. What are the 3 elements that you need for direct service connection? A current diagnosis, a link in service, and a nexus. They just gave you 2 in this favorable findings. They gave you the diagnosis and they gave you a link as it pertains to, okay, they conceded your MOS, high probability, you have sufficient service to meet minimum requirements, your claim issue became manifested to a degree of 10% or more following service. They just giving you a diagnosis and a link. You have 2 out of the 3. Now you need that nexus. I hope you're catching this. Let's keep going. Slide number 5. Okay, this slide here, you will find this information in the notification letter. Okay, and it's very important that you read all the pages. Okay, so you were denied for tinnitus based off the last slide that I showed you. And you're coming in and you're doing a supplemental claim, okay? Easy peasy. We all know you need new and relevant evidence. What is this? You need new and relevant evidence. By selecting this option, you're adding or identifying new and relevant evidence. You have to have new and relevant evidence. So in this case, you go out and get your own DBQ after you've got your VA claims folder. Your doctor does a DBQ for tinnitus. Boom. That is considered new and relevant evidence. Now, it says goal to complete 125 days. That does not mean they're going to complete that claim in 125 days. That's their goal, all right? Form to file to select this option. VA Form 20-0995. That is the form that you're going to submit, the prescribed claim form, along with the new and relevant evidence. Underneath that, further options after this decision review. You may request another supplemental claim, okay? Rinse and repeat, okay? Simple as that. That is your choice. So you need to understand your options as it pertains to if you disagree, and you're going to find this where? In the notification letter, not in the rating decision. Slide number 6. Boom, I just lowered the boom. This is it, okay? So you meet the 2 out of the 3 elements for direct service connection, current diagnosis, and the link in service because they gave it to you in the favorable findings. This is how you use it in your favor, okay? You just need that nexus, okay? Now, if you don't have a DBQ, or if you did have a DBQ, okay, here's an example wording that you can use to reopen your claim for tinnitus. I'm going to read through it really quick, okay? I'm reopening my previously denied claim for tinnitus in rating decision dated July 15, 2024. It notes under the favorable findings section, here we go, people, let's get educated. My MOS as a Canon crew member has a high probability hazardous noise exposure. Also in the same rating decision, it states my exam dated June 5th, 2024 notes a diagnosis of tinnitus. We just gave them 2 out of the 3 elements right there from their favorable findings. We're going to use it. We're going to use what they gave us to our favor, okay? I've attached sufficient DBQ and nexus statement per VA regulations. This is my new and relevant evidence because on that one slide, what do you need with the 0995? New and relevant evidence. And you just gave them the 3rd element, nexus. So you see how I did that? How do you use favorable findings to your advantage? Let's keep going. My private examiner has access to my electronic VA claims folder due to me requesting it per my FOIA, Freedom of Information Act, request in VBMS. All my VA medical progress reports I downloaded from My Healthy Vet and my private progress notes for this condition. Please do not schedule me for a CMP exam per 38 CFR 3.326 subpart B and subpart C, and forward my claim to the rating activity to rate with the evidence of record. Now, that's simple, people. Quick recap. You got denied for tinnitus. In the favorable findings, they gave you the diagnosis and the link, which you probably didn't have before then, okay? But you didn't have the nexus. So that's how you turn these favorable findings in your favor. Now, every claim is going to be a little bit different. It's going to depend on the veteran, what they were claiming, and how they were claiming it. But direct service connection, we know you need those 3 elements: diagnosis, link, and nexus. And in that wording, what did I say? I said my sufficient DBQ and nexus. So they gave you the 2 elements out of the 3 in the favorable findings, and you went out and got the 3rd, which is the nexus. So with that being said, make sure you like, subscribe, hit that notification button, and as always, share this video with your fellow veterans. Thank you.